Hey guys, going to work on our Made in Japan SQ series stratocaster. The reason we're going to take it apart and work on it is because somebody did a bad paint job on it, and we're going to try to take it apart and sand it down and fix all that stuff. So you can see where we're at here. Pretty cool little guitar. There's the bridge, and you can see the output jack. There's unique to this particular series. This one was made in 1983 through 4. A maple neck, maple fretboard, Telecaster style head. Somebody's taken the Squire bullet decals off. You can see the truss rod is actually a plug. You can't get in there because the adjustment is right in here. You have to take the neck off to adjust it. So we're going to start by taking the pick guard and everything else loose and off, and I have a very handy little magnetic tray, a soldering gun that's already getting hot, and a couple of Phillips screwdrivers to get the job done. So we'll kind of work along and see how this goes here. So let's turn this so maybe we just take all these screws right here loose. Somebody, I don't know what they did to this, tried to put one in there and didn't belong. And then we'll have to unsolder a ground wire that goes all the way through the cavity in here to the tremolo claw, and the pick guard will come loose. We'll get to that in just a second. Okay, we're down to the last two screws. I don't have a good video camera, so I'm using my iPhone, and it's a little harder to work this one-handed, but we'll get her done in just a second there. And drop the screwdriver. And the last screw for the tremolo cover. And off she comes, and there's the tremolo. You can see on these little Made in Japans the block is much bigger, otherwise basically it's all the same. And we just have to unsolder this wire right here. I'm not sure if that's a factory wire or not. It's, well, never mind, it kind of broke. You can see that's more like a house wire, not a stranded wire. So anyway, we've got that loose, so we'll work on the other stuff. Okay, we're going to take these screws loose. Pretty simple. I wouldn't use a power driver because this wood can strip really easy. They're just a standard pick guard screw, so nothing particular about those. So we'll be right back in just a second. Okay, you can see we've got all the screws out now. Pretty simple operation. And the hard part is just lifting this up and off. And the wire the ground wire that went to the tremolo claw is kind of making this difficult because it's a solid wire and it's a lot stiffer. Makes it a little bit more difficult to get out. So a little tug right there, and right there's the hole that it goes through to go into the tremolo cavity. So alright, we have, looks like some ceramic pickups, not real great, but whatever, that's what it came from the factory with. Looks like full-size pots, Can't read the numbers. Probably a 250K. Anyway, this is the little Japan deal. Pretty cool how they've got the output jack in the pick guard. Kind of different, no shielding or anything, so yeah. And next we'll do the neck, which is 4 bolts on the back, and the tremolo claw and bridge. So there's 6 or 8 more screws to go, and then we'll have it completely apart, except for the strap locks, and we'll get to that, and then maybe in a day or so show you some sanding pictures. Thanks. Okay, we've removed the bridge screws. As you can see, they're fairly long, about 1.25 inches or so, something like that. Just a standard Phillips head, and they're done. So now we'll flip it over and get to work on the tremolo claw. Okay, to make it simple, instead of trying to wrench these off, which they're not very heavy duty springs, we're going to back these out anyways because it's all got to come off. It'll make it a whole lot easier to remove the springs, and then the block should just lift right out. Let's see if we can use this bigger screwdriver. Just back it out a little bit. You can do them even or whatever. I don't think it really matters much, but let's just be safe. Okay, give me just a second and we'll be right back. Okay, when the tremolo claw screws unscrew far enough, they just fall off the spring, so we're going to put this right over here in our handy little magnetic tray, which again is pretty nice because they don't spill off and you don't lose stuff, so it makes it much simpler. And we're just going to kind of make note, I don't think I'm going to take the springs off of the block, but they're just on kind of every other one there, so we'll just put it back the way it was for whatever reason. And we'll turn it over and flip the bridge out and take the neck off. Okay, so pretty easy. The bridge just falls out when you take it, flip it over, which leaves you with a nice big hole. And you can see the cavity. It's you can put a humbucker, a single coil, and a humbucker if you wish. Pretty easy to do whatever you want in there. It's a nice big cavity. So who knows what we'll do when we get going on this. Now we'll flip it over and take these 4 screws out, and that'll be it except for the strap locks. Okay, so we've got the screws undone. I made sure they were loose and be able to pull out by hand. So we'll just lift the neck plate off, and there you go. Set that aside for a moment, and voila, apart comes the neck and the body. It's not a press fit or anything like that. Kind of, you can see what they look like. This one's got a little chunk on there. Somebody got a little rough, I guess. And you can see somebody didn't mask this off really well, so you can see how they got a little overspray in there. But, surprise, looking down in the neck, it looks like this little made in Japan Strat was black originally. I think they were saying that these came in black and sunburst mostly. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the paint job, how they kind of taped it off or whatever, but it's just not attractive whatsoever. The color I don't mind, but just it's like they didn't sand it good, so you can see some dark bleeding through it. Just doesn't look very good. So a couple little dingers there, probably just mostly in the paint, but anyway, ready to be sanded. Another quick interesting note about these made in Japan strats. If you notice, it's nice and square. It doesn't have the beveled edge, nor does it have the belly cut. So it's kind of all square, and it's a little, seems like it's a little smaller body, but it's more Telecaster-like. I don't know. It's just different. I liked it. The neck really got me. It's very comfortable. Very, very nice wood. You can see some of the flame in there. Looks like we might have a little bit of fret wear there. It's not real bad. Can't really feel it much, but there's a couple of spots there. See if we can't dress those up too. Alright, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching.